I'm Ed Hall. I'm an associate professor of ecosystem science and sustainability in the Warner College of Natural Resources. Why am I interested in sustainability? I think we have to be because of the stress that humans are putting on the planet. Sustainability has a real important social justice component, governance component, economic component, and my contribution to sustainability is more on the ecosystem science. Can we understand it well enough that we can interact with that ecosystem in a way that lets us do it indefinitely? My current research has two sort of key bits. One is I work on this lake in Honduras called Lake Yohoa. People have been living at Lake Yohoa for 4,000 years, and currently it's under quite some stress. It's experiencing eutrophication. This just means too many nutrients, too much algae. So algae in general are good, but if you get too many of them, as they die, they decompose and all the oxygen can leave the water. And they also create this pretty aesthetically unpleasing big mats of floating goo. What we find is there's a buildup of nutrients in the bottom of the lake, a really high concentration, and then when it turns over, so lakes form two layers, and every year in the tropics it turns over once, and when it turns over, it causes this explosion of algal growth. I've been down there for about a decade, and we're trying to understand how people can interact with this ecosystem in a sustainable way. And then I have the second part of my research that's mostly focused on aquatic microbes, so single-cell organisms that live in streams and lakes. And I'm interested in how they impact the system. In particular, I'm interested in how stress affects what their bodies are made of and how that affects things that eat them, or when their bodies die, what happens to that organic matter in the environment. You know, I can be quite honest, that's still my driving force. Just the wonder. It's infinite, like the wonder at life, and especially microbial life on planet Earth. It's the coolest thing I know of. And it's not science fiction, it's real. Currently, I'm a SoGES resident fellow, and it's focused on my work in Lake Yohoa. So we're studying how the lake works. The central question is, how can people interact with that lake and do so indefinitely? And how we're answering that is seeing how they're currently interacting with it and what impact that's having on the lake. And what we found is one of the biggest stresses on the lake is this large aquaculture. And this large aquaculture farm that grows tilapia has all the best sustainability certification. But it's not sustainable. The lake's deteriorating too rapidly. I think they've taken standards from other systems and tried to put them in a lake, and it just doesn't work. And so this has led to this idea of taking our basic research and looking into the certifications and trying to create a new set of standards that would actually protect the ecosystem. I also see it as a model watershed. People trying to make a living on the natural resources that are there, and how can they do that and let this lake keep providing a fishery, keep providing a tourist spot, an important wildlife refuge, a flyover in the North American flyway for a lot of birds. The idea is if we can answer how to measure, monitor this in a place that doesn't have a lot of monitoring, can we then extrapolate to the global tropics? I mean, that's the hope, is that we can learn stuff from Lake Yohoa that'll teach us about all of our tropical waters. Fresh water is one of our major resources that when we interact with it, we inhibit its ability to provide us what we need. Can we move forward in a better way? Yes, we can. And I think, there isn't a silver bullet. Well, this is how we'll do that. This is how we'll keep the planet well. There's going to be a series of thoughtful collective solutions.